Good afternoon, fans. This is your girl from Mel's Mat Chat, and this is episode 353 of the podcast. How is everybody doing today? Lots going on in my personal life. You will all know about it this coming week, and let's just say it's sort of good and it's sort of bad, but it's for the best. So it is what it is. It's all in weekends. So what we're gonna do is, you know, the drill. I'm going to do last week's Collision and Rampage, but this week I'm going to be doing um, uh, on Saturday night. I'm going to cover Dynamite, Rampage, and Collision. Will be on the preview and predictions. So you're gonna tune in around 11 o'clock on Saturday. So follow my or whenever. I don't even know what time Collision is on this weekend. I'll have to, but you'll find out on Twitter and whatnot. I'll be making videos and stuff like that once I find out after the fact. I will be going live right after All In, because it's going to be like what, maybe 6, 7 o'clock. My God, just the thought of doing that is going to be a nightmare. Also, please do me a favor. Go check out all the content on here. Please like, share, and subscribe. Turn on the bell for all notifications. So when I go live, upload a video or do a short, you will know about it. Please do me a favor and go check out my other social media, which is Facebook, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, Twitter, X, and Cameo. So if you want me to do a video, you're more than welcome to. I'm also on PayPal. You could get if you want, I could put it in here again. Donate to the podcast, put a message, and I will be shouting it out not once but twice. If you're going to do it this weekend, you're going to get it. It's going to be repeated. So you're going to get a shout out, and it's going to be worth it. I'm also on Snapchat, Real Mel's Mat Chat, and you can also find me on my OnlyFans, which is only $5 a month to take a look at these luscious tatas. I also do a review either on Tuesday or Wednesdays, depending on how tired I am on a Tuesday night on OnlyFans. So what I do is I talk about NXT, but I do a little something spicier. I do it completely topless. So you could see these completely uncensored. I know you want to. I know you want to see these lovely, luscious tatas. So it's going to cost you $5. So you break it down. It's about $1.25 a week to see my boobs. But I also take a shower. I post topless pics. Sometimes I put a video of me pleasuring myself. I have my boyfriends on there and whatnot, and we make content. So why don't you get a little of the naughty side of Mel's Mat Chat? That's my real self. That's outside of this. I'm pretty tame on here, but obviously for the restrictions that I have on here, I can't do what I do anyway. So it is what it is, but please go check me out all on that. Please also go check out Maestro Classics at maestroclassics.com. Visit their website for all your beard essentials. Please also, if you want to murder your thirst and you need the itinerary to go get and murder your thirst, please go check out Liquid Death at liquiddeath.com. They have unflavored water, of unflavored seltzer water, flavored seltzer water, iced tea, sports packs, and I don't know what the hell's up their asses, but this fudge, chocolate fudge soda-ish thing. I've drank something similar to that, and it's nasty. It's nasty. If I want something like that, I'm gonna have a ice cream soda, and I don't even like ice cream sodas. They're disgusting. So please do me a favor and go check them out. I'll stick with their unflavored salsa water. It is the bomb.com. Please do me a favor if you're a coffee aficionado. Please go check out Death Wish Coffee at deathwishcoffee.com. It is pumpkin season, people. Go get your pumpkin fix there with your pumpkin chai coffee. Also, they have great merch there with skulls and everything. So if you're a goth and you like coffee, it's a match made in hell. Also, they have other flavored coffee. So if you're not into the pumpkin, you got that too. You got, I think, chocolate hazelnut, which is delicious. So go check it out. It's inspired by the Nutella. Duh. So go check it out at deathwishcoffee.com. And it's the world's strongest coffee with the lowest acidic rate. And what I mean about the world's strongest coffee, it's the world's strongest caffeinated coffee. So go check that out. If you are loving independent wrestling, we have one in the tri-state area, and it is House of Glory. House of Glory is doing some big things. They got their taste of the bloodline. They got their own tribal chief, and it is Zilla Fatu. He is the House of Glory Crown Jewel champion. He will be in action in September 5th, but if you haven't checked it out, in August 17th, they had a West Coast versus East Coast the Future Stars of Wrestling versus Hog Superstars. So if you missed it, go check it out on the Thriller app and go sign that up. Also, if you are in the Chicago area on September 5th, go get your tickets for there will be at the Logan Square Auditorium. And it was announced Mustafa Ali versus Zilla Fatu, Jacob Dijak versus Mike Santana for the House of Glory Championship. Joe Alonzo is going to be there, and Kylie Ray versus Megan Bain for the HOG Women's Championship. Also, September 29th, do you believe in him? Do you believe in the glory that is him? Because when you say his name, he is going to appear on September 29th at House of Glory. Joe Hendry is making his HOG debut. So if you want to get all your Joe Hendry fandom out there, and you want to know what's going on and enjoy all these events, go check it out on Thriller app, or if you could be there, go get your tickets at hogwrestling.net. Now we're going to start off with AEW. We're going to do Rampage and Collision, and we're going to go into SmackDown and Raw because of AEW doing All In. Now, All In is going to be in the middle of the day, so it's going to be great, so I can watch it and then do this, and then it'll be done. I don't have to worry about it on Monday. I got a lot to do this weekend, so bear with me and everything like that. So I actually don't have coffee today. I actually have a beautiful cherry iced tea. Oh, it's delish. So we're going to go to AEW. AEW Rampage from last week. This is just the build to get you ready for All In, and it was as follows. Rampage came from the Chartway Arena in North Fork, Virginia. Virginia. The conglomeration, Ring of Honor World Champion Mark Briscoe, Orange Cassidy, and Tomohiro Ishii versus The Butcher and the Outrunners, Truth Magnum, Turbo Floyd. Kyle O'Reilly was in the commentary booth. Butcher booted Briscoe in the abdomen. Mark fired back with a redneck kung fu. The Outrunners tagged in and out, trying to swarm Mark, but Mark quickly dispatched of them. Ishii grabbed a tag and Turbo dropped him, but Ishii didn't budge. Ishii unleashed a chop of his own on Turbo. Ishii clobbered the Outrunners with lariats and shoulder blocks. Ishii blasted Turbo with a brainbuster. Orange took flight with a tope suicida to the Outrunners. Mark tried to use a steel chair as a launch pad, but Butcher knocked him. Orange cracked the Butcher with a orange punch. Briscoe jumped off the chair, flipped over the top rope, and wiped down the Outrunners. Mark spiked Truth with a J driller and scored the pin. Now, if you're wondering if I really should bring politics, but I'm going to let you in on a little secret. If you're a fan of Nyla Rose, you better be hoping that they go to a liberal state, because you won't be seeing her at all on TV. She's not going to be involved, so I'm just giving you fair warning. Nyla Rose versus Erica Lee. Nyla Rose powerbombed Erica and squashed her with a sit-out senton. Erica drop-kicked Nyla, but Nyla rallied back with a running crossbody. Nyla smashed Erica with a beast bomb and earned a decisive victory. No shit. The Outcast, Saraya. Saraya came to the ring joined by Harley Cameron. Harley, tomorrow is Saraya's birthday. Not a single person in this entire building has said anything to her. You should all be ashamed. I will say this, I have something for you, Saraya. Harley began to sing happy birthday, but Saraya stopped her. Saraya, not now. I'm not in the mood. Let's recap the past year of my life, shall we? Last year at All In, I won the AEW Women's World Championship, and then I lost it. And I didn't even get a bloody rematch. And then I lost friends, and I mysteriously omitted it from the pay-per-view and shows. And they had the audacity not to put me on All In this year. All facts. Finally, honestly. AEW Women's World Champion Toni Storm walked onto the ramp, interrupting Saraya. Toni Storm, I'm about to fight for my life against Mariah May. But I will never forget everything that we have been through together. You want this title? You want to be on All In? Well, I'm happy. Well, happy birthday. Next week on Dynamite, you beat me, then you can have it all. Saraya, Toni, we've been friends for a long time, and the reason is because you're stupid. Next week, I'm going to kick your ass. Toni, darling, you're going to need a bigger foot. She's got a nice ass, you know. I have schmutz on my glasses. I can't stand it. AEW World Trios Champion Nick Wayne versus Kip Sabian. This guy needs to go to NXT or do something. This guy is criminally fucking not being used properly, and it's a shame. Such a shame. Nick Wayne slapped Sabian in the face and slid out of the ring. Nick Wayne returned to the ring, and Sabian knocked him down with a running shoulder block. Sabian slapped Nick Wayne in the face. Sabian bashed Nick with a gutbuster. Kip Sabian connected with a kick and then a moonsault to Nick on the outside of the ring. After a distraction from Mother Wayne and kill switch, Nick yanked Sabian into the steel ring post. Kip staged a huge comeback with a springboard dropkick and then a cannonball in the corner for a near fall on Nick Wayne. Sabian had a burst of adrenaline and nailed Nick with a half and half suplex. Nick stunned Kip with a Wayne's World and then a double underhook into a DDT for a 2 count. This is something right here, said Daddy Magic. Kip Sabian has been looking to right the ship, said Excalibur. Sabian hoisted up Nick Wayne, but Mother Wayne jumped on the apron to distract the referee. Kill Switch jumped on the opposite side of the ring and headbutted Kip. Nick cracked Kip with a Wayne's World and pinned Sabian. It took the intervention of 2 people for Nick to win this match. The deck was stacked against Kip Sabian, said Excalibur. He would be so freaking perfect for NXT. Could you imagine Kip Sabian versus Ethan Page? Could you imagine Kip Sabian versus Pete Dunne? I mean, should I keep going on? And with the addition of possibly Daniel Garcia, possibly like those people, it's where it's at. I'm hoping that this trend is going to turn back NXT to the aura of black and gold. Because as I keep saying to people, and they don't want to hear it about me and hear it from my mouth, that if it wasn't for NXT, you wouldn't have AEW, and don't at me. Don Callis' family, Roosh and Kyle Fletcher versus Rhett, Titus, and KM. KM booted Fletcher in the midsection. Fletcher fired off stiff shots and then a Michinoku driver on KM. Titus grabbed a tag, but Fletcher planted Titus with a side slam. Fletcher followed up with a half and half suplex. Roosh splashed Rhett in the corner and then stopped Rhett. Roosh smashed Titus with a bull's horn and pinned Titus. Duh. Main event for Rampage. Top Flight versus M&M Connection. And I finally remembered the fucking group that they were talking. It was the Maximum Male Models. Mansoor dropped Dante with a shoulder tackle and posed. Mansoor scoop slammed Dante and dropped an elbow. Dante swept the leg of Mansoor as Mansoor went for a leapfrog. Darius and Mason tagged in for the respective teams. Madden smashed Darius with the final cut leg drop. Madden connected with a hip attack on Darius. Dante grabbed a blind tag, and Top Flight showed off their tag team synergy with a new ring attire. Top Flight crashed onto M&M Collection with a double tope suicida. Mansoor hit Darius with a Manhattan Drop Spinebuster combination. Layla Gray and Madden had posed down on the opposite side of the ring. Mansoor caught in the middle. Darius clocked Mansoor with a thrust kick as Mansoor was distracted. Dante springboard off the top onto Madden. Sorry. What do I keep saying Madison for? Dante ducked a dive from Mansoor. Top Flight hoisted up Madden and twirled him in a double airplane spin. They followed up with a double drop kick. Madden slammed Dante with Dante was on Mansoor's shoulders. Darius and Dante ping pong matted back and forth with thrust kicks. Darius spiked Mansoor with a brainbuster. Dante pinned Mansoor the crossover frog splash. Lio Rush joined Top Flight in the ring to help them celebrate. Oh, God damn it. Sorry. Oh my God. I hate my allergies. The new look, new attitude, and a victory to cap off Top Flight, said Excalibur. So Collision is going to be coming from, again, the Esports Stadium in Arlington, Texas. And Dynamite came from Cardiff, Wales. So we are heading towards Collision from last week. I don't know if I'm going to start trying to go live like right after each event show. It's just that at night I'm extremely exhausted. So when I'm in bed 100%. So Collision started off with Doctor. Here we go again. Here's my nasal. I'm gonna make it even nasaler. Hold on. Let me clear my nose because it's running like crazy. Let me. Oh my God. Okay. Me. We started off with Doctor Britt Baker. She is ready to see you. I gotta record that. And then I can pop it up. Versus the Outcast, Harley Cameron. Baker hits a snap suplex on Cameron for a 2 count. Harley fired back with a head kick and a running lariat to Baker. Harley followed up with a leg sweep and a shriek. Dr. Britt Baker used a swinging neck breaker on Cameron. Baker applied a surgical glove, but Harley had it scouted and connected with a running knee strike on Baker. Britt Baker rallied back with a sling blade and a curb stomp. Thank you, Mr. Rollins. Oh, I would kill to see her in WWE now. If the rumors aren't true and they are still together and they're not separated, her and Adam Cole, I would love it after their contracts, because after this, Britt's done. She needs a new crop of people. And I would love to both of them walk into WWE. Like almost like esque of like Triple H and Stephanie. That would be so freaking awesome. Good enough to score the pinfall victory. After the match, TBS champion and New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong champion, the CEO Mercedes Moné and Camille walked onto the ramp. Britt grabbed a kendo stick and swung at Camille, but Camille grabbed it and broke it over her knee. Camille blasted Baker with a pump kick. Camille hoisted Baker on her shoulders and face planted her in the ring. Mercedes walked into the ring and Camille held up Mercedes' arm, taunting the fallen Britt Baker. Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championship match. The Undisputed Kingdom. Kingdom. What the fuck? Whatever. Mike Bennett and Mat versus the natural Dustin Rhodes and the Spanish God, Sammy Guevara. I am so hurt for him. He is on Ring of Honor. What is this like? They're trying to revitalize this dead brand. So they're doing basically what WWE is doing with NXT. See, the thing is that the reason why they're doing with NXT is they're trying to right the wrongs what fucking Vince McMahon did. So now they have to do all this yet again because they did it with Black and Gold. After a certain point, you didn't see anybody from the main roster on that fucking brand. So now they got to do this all over again. So it's ridiculous. Anyway, Mike Bennett avoided an uppercut from Dustin and countered with a thrust kick. Sammy tagged in and wiped out the Undisputed Kingdom with a big crossbody press from the top turnbuckle. Sammy flipped over the top rope on with a tope con hero onto Taven. Fans chanted, "Sammy, Sammy, Sammy." I want him in WWE so badly. You have no idea. The Kingdom showed why they are the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions, isolating Sammy in the corner and keeping him from making a tag to Dustin. Somehow, Sammy found the strength to take down Taven with a Spanish fly. Dustin grabbed a tag, and the big Texan clobbered Bennett with a variety of offense. Dustin spiked Taven with a Canadian destroyer. Dustin planted Taven with a crossroads, but Bennett jumped in to break the pin attempt. Rhodes smashed Bennett with a crossroads. The Beast, Motros, and Roderick Strong ran to the ring. The Beast distracted the referee so Roddy could interfere with the sick kick on Dustin. Marshall and Ross Von Erich sprinted to the ring and applied the claw onto Roddy and the Beast, Montrose. Brian Cage, oh my God! Bet you fucking goddamn you're regretting fucking signing with this company. Unfortunately, now your wife is involved, so you're stuck there. I don't understand what these fucking guys, they love mediocre. They don't want to make themselves better. What are these guys doing with only a bit time on television? At least in WWE, if you're not on television, you're doing other things, but you're still being associated with the company. You're still being spoke about. You may not be in the ring, but you're doing other things for the company, and you're still getting spotlighted that way. What the fuck are those two doing? And the gates of Anagony ran down and began to brawl with the Von Erichs. The conglomeration joined the melee, and the teams brawled to the back. Meanwhile, in the ring, Bennett and Taven were looking to spike a pile driver on Dustin, but Sammy knocked Taven from the top. Dustin drilled Bennett with a spinning suplex, and Sammy put a statement at the end of the sentence with a frog splash. Dustin covered Bennett and pinned Bennett, and we have new Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions, the natural Dustin Rhodes and the Spanish God, Sammy Guevara. Fans chanted, "You deserve it, you deserve it." Dustin Rhodes is a double champion in Ring of Honor, said Shivani. You know, the funny thing is that Sammy Guevara wanted to be tag team champions with Chris Jericho. Couldn't get the fucking job done, right? Speaking of Jericho was being interviewed by Renee Paquette. Jericho, "Hi guys, it's going to be a busy week for the learning tree. Hook returning with a vengeance with one eye. Maybe I'll blind the other eye as well. Hook, this is your last chance for the world championship away from me. And I beat you. I want you to step out of the Jericho Vortex forever. You've been banned." And as far as my match this Wednesday on Dynamite against the Dynamite Kid, Tommy Billington, you remind me a lot of Hook, Tommy, entitled. When I found out that Hook match was official for Wembley, I wanted to warm up against you. But I knew your uncle, Tommy, and I wouldn't like you. He wouldn't like you because you haven't been trained properly. I trained in the dungeon. I wasn't on TV for years. I started my career, and here you are facing Chris Jericho, the learning tree. On Dynamite, I am the modern I am the modern name Stu Hart. Oh my god. He did say that. I'm going to tear you apart branch by branch. On AEW Dynamite, the Dynamite Kid is going to be Dynamite done. Hologram. Hologram versus the Spanish announced project and Helico with Serpentico. Hologram rocketed out of the ring with a tope suicida on Angelico, driving Angelico straight back to the arena ramp. Hologram walked the ropes and jumped off a Hurricane Rana on Angelico. Fans loving every one of his moves. Hologram spiked Angelico right on top of the skull with a DDT for a near fall. Hologram climbed to the top turnbuckle and tried for a 450, but Angelico moved, and Hologram managed to land on his feet. Hologram jumped on Angelico's shoulders and took him down with a Hurricane Rana. Hologram tied up Angelico's limbs using the mat, using mat wrestling, and pinned Angelico. Angelico gave Hologram a nod of respect after the match. The sky's the limit for Hologram, and said Tony Schiavone. I watched Collision, but I watch it like not even that night. I watch it like maybe Tuesday morning. I'm telling you, this is a waste of my time on Tuesdays. TNT Champions Scapegoat Jack Perry versus Danny Orion, sorry. Jack Perry chopped Danny and battered him in the corner with clubbing shots. Jack Perry leveled Danny with a lariat. Jack Perry charged at Danny with a running knee strike and picked up the pinfall. Darby Allin better bring a can of gasoline because it's going to take something like that to beat Jack Perry at All In, said Nigel. After the match, Jack Perry sprayed painted Danny Orion's face with a white paint, mimicking Darby Allin's face. Jack Perry put Danny in a body bag with the TNT belt. Jack Perry had a black bag and pulled out a new TV title. I guess he's burying the old TV title and coming out with one of his own, said Tony Schiavone. You know, at the time, I couldn't stand Cody Rhodes when he was in AEW. But let me tell you something. At least he made that fucking title prestigious. Now it's just a joke. Too many titles in this company spoil the fucking stew. Christopher Daniels was backstage with a message for the AEW World Trios Champion, Christian Cage. The Patriarch will be defending their AEW World Trios titles against the Bang Bang Gang and the House of Black and a third team. It will be determined in a wild card match at Cardiff Collision. Those 4 teams will go to All In London and wrestle for the AEW World Trios Championship in a London ladders match. Supposedly the House of Black are fucking divas. Good. Because 2 of them I know want to be back home. And what I need back home is WWE. They got their wives there. And I would love to see fucking Buddy Matthews come in and fucking form. This is what I propose. At Bash in Berlin, why don't they put the rights to the Judgment Day up? If Rhea and Damian Priest win, they get the rights to that. If Dominic and Liv win, they get the rights to it. And if Rhea and Damian win, also, let's up the stakes. The entire group has to disband. That means Dominic will not have fucking Finn and JD. Will not have Carlito. So I think that should be up the stakes. Shouldn't you? Blackpool Combat Club, Claudio Castagnoli versus Lio Rush. Claudio caught Lio with a gut wrench pick up, but Lio landed on his feet. Claudio racked up Lio with a backbreaker. Claudio rocked Rush with another backbreaker. Lio tried for a poison rana, but didn't have enough momentum. Lio stunned Claudio with a PK, knocking Claudio off the apron. Lio jumped out of the ring with a suicida, but Claudio caught him. Lio charged at Claudio, but Claudio hurled Lio over the guardrail. Claudio clocked Lio with a European uppercut. The fans chanted AEW, AEW. Lio smacked Claudio with a rapid fire strikes. Lio went up top, but Claudio dodged the frog splash. Claudio popped up Lio for an elevated European uppercut to pin Lio Rush. I'm glad that Lio Rush is finally, maturing, and I'm so happy that he's finally getting another opportunity. Chris Statlander and Stokely Hathaway were backstage. Stokely, we have something to say Willow Nightingale. Statlander, classic Willow Nightingale going over our heads to Tony Khan to get Tomohiro Ishii in this tag team match at Wembley. Is he scary? Yes. Tough? Yes. Crazy? Yes. But you know who is all of those things and more? Me. I'm going to handle business at Wembley. Stokely, I spoke to Tony Khan too. He told me whoever wins at Wembley gets to pick a stipulation for All Out. Chris Statlander versus Willow Nightingale on September 7th. Ishii, I'm going to kick your ass, man. I am the stone pit bull around here. Statlander, this is the end for you. Willow, we'll see you at Wembley. I have to take ibuprofen. I'm not taking any drugs. I have started to get a migraine, and I have to take this. So it's a prescribed medication, so it's not like I'm popping pills here. I have to take this. So I have a terrible migraine right now. We get a update from Mad King Eddie Kingston. Kingston, what's up, boys and girls? I'm not here to give you an update. I still got a long road, but I'm going to do it. There's a thing I've been noticing on Dynamite lately, and that is you, Brian. What Bryan Danielson is this that I'm seeing. It isn't the Bryan Danielson that I had one of the greatest matches I have ever seen against Kenta in Ring of Honor. This Bryan I'm seeing is disrespectful to our sport. This Bryan that I'm seeing is going to get beat at All In. Because you don't have a fire anymore. Why are you going to do this match if you're going to get beat? Are you going to step up, Brian? Or are you going to write your last love song to pro wrestling at All In? Or you're just going to go in there and lose because you ain't got it no more? That's something you're going to have to figure out, Brian, because if not, what's the point? Obviously. The Glamour, Mariah May versus London Dior. Mariah wasted no time taking the beating to London. Mariah used the running hip attack and spiked London with the Storm Zero for the decisive victory. Mariah May continues to her undefeated mark here on Collision, said Tony Schiavone. After the match, the world premiere of a film by AEW Women's World Champion Toni Storm, My Final Gift. So you already fucking know that Tony is putting over Mariah. It's inevitable. If you think that Tony's going to actually win, you're all out of your mind. It's simple. It's simple. It's simple wrestling 101. This has been what since Mariah has come into AEW, and then the Nina Shirakawa. I said her name wrong. Please don't fuck with me. I the disclaimer at every fucking show that I'm doing here. I'm gonna say if I can't pronounce, I'm gonna, try my best. These Japanese last names, they're killers. Seriously, it took me close to 6 to 8 months to fucking learn how to say Nakamura, or his first name, not Shinsuke. I was looking at it and I'm like, I can't pronounce this fucking thing. I had to watch the match between him and fucking Sami Zayn for fucking 6 months to listen to how they were saying Shinsuke. Now I could say it. It's annoying, these names. And it kills me that I'm botching them. And I have to apologize. So, Tony, I told the doctor I'm depressed. Every day is death. My heart is shattered. I don't know how I can go on. The doctor said the treatment is simple. Go see the great clown who was in town tonight. But I said he should pay to see me. Mariah May, my final gift to you will be the grandest Toni Storm of all time. You will forever regret the day you met the woman you loved. Mariah Ma battered London Dior with Tony's shoe after seeing Tony's film. I'm going to talk a little bit about fucking the FTR. Okay? Go get your popcorn, go get your sodas, go get whatever you drink, coffee, whatever, tea, whatever it is. I'm going to fucking talk about Mr. Dax Hardwood and Mr. Cash Wheeler. I have never seen a tag team, and if this is part of their fucking gimmick, fine. But I've never seen a tag team so fucking butthurt that their heroes are fucking the people from the 80s, which are the Rock and Roll Express, Art Anderson, the Anderson Oli and Arn, all them. The Road Warriors, the whole nine. I guarantee you it was worse back then than it is now. I guarantee you those fucking tag teams didn't give two shits, and they didn't fucking bellyache to people. They just went out there, they did their job, and they shut their mouths. And they took it like fucking men. You two are not men. You are fucking beta cucks. Okay? You are now settling for a second-rate fucking thing, elite with the FTR, because guess what? You have your buddy CM Punk in WWE, and your bosses ran him out. So you can't do business. You can't make that money. So this is the consolation prize. How does it feel to have a consolation prize, or be a consolation prize, or do a consolation prize? You do think that you were gonna not make the money that were supposed to make with Punk, right? Punk is in WWE as happy as a fucking clam. And all of you in AEW don't like that. You don't like the fact that he's happy and he's fulfilled and he wanted to do what he was doing now in AEW, but all of you didn't want him to do that because you think you knew better. FTR, you are an amazing tag team. One of the best out there. But the problem with you is that your ego is bigger than your fucking mouths. You think that, oh, because I won this, we won that, you have a stake of claim to everything. No, because you got fucking vinced. You got vinced. And you think that fucking the Usos were going to take a second fiddle to you? No. Now, let me tell you this. If fucking Papa H decides to pick up the phone and say, hey, I'm offering you XX and you could come back, your ass is going to be back to Stamford, Connecticut. Because let me tell you something. If or when the Lucha Brothers do decide to come into WWE, it's going to be a renaissance of the tag team division. The tag team division is going to be changed. It's already changing. And I know you're going to want to be a part of that. You're going to want to have a taste of that. But what happens when you don't get that call and Tony doesn't want you anymore? And he's got this newfangled new tag team in the Von Erichs. He's not going to need you anymore. They're not going to need you anymore. So for you to say and be and go after people because the tag team division in AEW is brutally ice cold, you have some nerve. You have some nerve for people who have supported you, so people who have sang your praises. And it's just a shame. It's just a shame. And you know what? What gives you the right to be at Wembley? The Acclaim should be there, and that's it. It should be the Acclaim versus the Young Cucks. And I say cucks because they are cucks. Because they're actively ruining AEW for the worst. They have a part-time schedule. Meanwhile, fucking goddamn Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, who else? Seth Rollins, who else can I throw in? Damian Priest and all of them and all those guys, even the DIY, even everybody that's a lot older than Mr. The Jacksons, Mr. Jackson's here. They don't have a part-time schedule. Randy Orton doesn't have a legit part-time schedule. He's on fucking goddamn SmackDown and Raw doing double duty. What the fuck are you guys doing in Rancho Cucamonga fucking goddamn having super kick parties while real men are fucking wrestling? See, the thing is, I now know why Cody Rhodes left. Because all you wanted to do was collect the paycheck and do shit. And I'm sorry, but that's what makes you fucking beta males and beta cucks. Because you will never want to go to WWE. Because you actually have to work. You actually have to go to do press tours and all that shit. You don't want to do that. No. You want to sit home and be holier than thou. You were always an overrated team. You are always an overrated team. The Usos are always will be superior to you. You walk around with those goddamn titles and you don't want to fucking defend them. What are you, the Brock Lesnar of fucking the tag team division in AEW? No, you're not. The people who should have those titles are the maybe Buddy Murphy and Malachi Black, or how about the Acclaim, or how about Private Party, or how about the Top Flight. You don't need those titles. You don't. And it's sick. It's sick. It makes me nauseous every time I see you too. And people could clip this. People could fucking show it to goddamn Nick and Matt Jackson. Yeah, I called them Nick and Matt Jackson because what? What are they gonna do? Me fine me? I don't fucking work for AEW, and quite frankly, Tony Khan can't afford me. Neither can Paul Levesque. And don't get me started about Kazuchika Okada, because I'm going to always let this go to my grave. The only reason why Kazuchika Okada is in AEW is because Tony Khan couldn't fucking exist if Kazuchika Okada was in WWE, possibly facing a Shinsuke Nakamura, or how about an AJ Styles, or a Cody Rhodes, or a Roman Reigns, or how about a fucking goddamn Seth Rollins, or a Gunther. Couldn't hack it, right? Couldn't hack it. Couldn't, knowing that he's on that in that locker room. People better wise up with AEW. It's not all bells and whistles and rainbows. It's basically the who can backstab whom. And that's not a way to run a business. And for the person who's running the company needs to step down and do day-to-day business. Allow somebody to run this show. And you know who I think should run the show? And I am not joking. I think who should be running TV right now and pay him the money for it. This is the guy. Pay Dustin Rhodes to run television. If you want a renaissance of the American dream, you have it. Bottom line. Or you want to get somebody and really stick it to WWE, maybe hire somebody like a Steve Austin. Or actually, if you want to really invest, and when Paul Heyman's contract comes up, try to vie for him. But he would never leave. He will never leave his tribal chief. He will never leave Roman Reigns. And if Brock Lesnar does come back, he's not going to leave Brock Lesnar to go to AEW. Tony Khan is a horrible booker, horrible guy to be at TV. He would rather be a fan than a businessman. And that's just the difference between him and Nick Khan. Match comes up for the last slot for the tag team championship. The winner will be taking on the Young Cucks at All In. FTR versus the Acclaim. What team will go face the EVPs, the Young Cucks? Nick Jackson, said Tony Schiavone. Bowens used a side headlock takeover on Dax effectively and efficiently. Dax got to his feet and traded thunderous chops with Bowens. The Acclaim had an offensive surge and sent FTR over the top rope to the arena floor with stereo clotheslines. Back in the ring, Bowens blasted Dax with a running knee strike for a near fall. Dax rallied back with multiple German suplexes. Cash came in, but Caster grabbed a blind tag. FTR tried for a spike pile driver, but Caster backdropped his way out of it. Caster held up Cash while Bowens jumped on the top turnbuckle with a crossbody press. Caster covered Cash, but Cash kicked out at the counter too. Fans chanted, "This is awesome! This is awesome!" All four men are really spent but not done," said Shivani. Dax smashed Caster with a giant bulldog as Caster has been up on Cash's shoulders. Dax and Bowens traded knee strikes and chopped once again. Dax DDT Bowens, going to his book of tricks. Caster and Cash tagged in. Cash Wheeler smashed Max with a rising European uppercut. The fans chanted, "Fight forever, fight forever." By the way, isn't that a name of what their video game? Which is non-existent. I found out that it's like almost free now on Xbox Pass because my computer is Windows and I get a notification whether to download it and everything like that. I'm gonna fucking download that. It's trash. Because of course, Kenny Omega needed to have a video game. Priorities, priorities, priorities. I swear to Christ in this company. Cash walloped Caster with a lariat. Caster answered with a double thrust to the throat and then powerbombed Cash. Dax was looking for a pile driver on Bowens, but Caster jumped off the top with a crossbody press to counter it for his partner. They are standing here and applauding both teams. Who will go to London? Asked Shivani. Dax locked Bowens in a sharpshooter. Caster entered the ring, but Dax put Caster in a sharpshooter. Bowens, the legal man, drilled Dax with a famous for a 2 count. It was announced 5 more minutes were remaining in the match. Let me tell you this. When I watched this fucking match, I knew for a fact I knew what the hell was going to happen. Cash DDT Caster on the ring apron. Dax suplex Bowens and Cash jumped off the top for a splash on Bowens for a 2 count. Bowens and Dax traded forearms from their knees. FTR were setting up for a shatter machine, but Bowens and Caster broke it up. The Acclaim stunned Dax with a shatter machine, but Dax kicked out. Bowens planted Dax with the Acclaim, and Caster hit the mic drop and went for a pin. But Cash shoved Caster and Bowens to break up the pin attempt. All 4 men, exhausted, exchanged strikes for their knees. The longer this match goes, the more the Young Bucks are going to be licking their chops, said Nigel. FTR caught Bowens in the shatter machine, but Caster jumped in to break up the pin attempt. 1 minute remaining. Bowens and Dax traded strikes and knocked one another down to the mat. The bell rang and 30-minute time limit expired. The match ended in a time limit draw. Billy Gunn tried to play peacemaker, but Dax decked him. Tony Khan has just informed me both teams are going to Wembley. The Young Bucks will defend against both FTR and the Acclaim, said Tony Schiavone. Both teams brawl and had to be pried apart by AEW security. We're going to see a 3-way match for the AEW World Tag Team titles at Wembley at AEW All In, said Tony Schiavone. No shit. If I'm telling you, if anybody thought that this wasn't going to be a triple threat match, you guys have got to watch me. Watch me and I'll tell you. I called this from the very fucking start. This was a way to get fucking FTR on the card. It was never going to be FTR going to be doing this. It was always the Acclaim. And I'm hoping that those 2 teams, FTR and the Young Bucks, don't get the title, and it's the Acclaim. Because I'm a fear that the Acclaim are going to take the pin. So Dynamite was coming from Cardiff. Now we are going to segue into WWE and last week's SmackDown. This is going to get you prepared for tonight. SmackDown. SmackDown had Roman Reigns appeared. A-Town Down Under versus the prize. Grayson Waller versus Kevin Owens. Speed Champion Andrade. El Idolo versus Carmelo Hayes. Singles match Naomi versus Blair Davenport. And a number one contenders match for the tag team titles, which were DIY versus the Street Profits. WWE Women's Champion and 2024 King of the Ring Nia Jax championship celebration with Miss Money in the Bank Tiffany Stratton. So the show opens up with a video recapping everything that transpired between the Bloodline last week's SmackDown. We see Solo Sikoa walking backstage. Corey Graves and Wade Barrett welcome us to the show as 2024 Miss Money in the Bank Tiffany Stratton was in the ring with Pretty Deadly. Stratton then introduces the WWE Women's Champion and the 2024 Queen of the Ring, Nia Jax. And she makes her way down to the ring on a throne being carried by 4 men for her celebration. Let's bring up Macho Man and Sensational Sherry, both WWE Hall of Famers. This, I feel, had Bruce Pritchard written all over it. Tiffany places Jack's WWE Women's Championship on her shoulder, and Jack says that Stratton shouldn't have. Stratton then says she wanted everything to pop and asks Jax if she likes it. Jax then says she appreciates Stratton, but it isn't her style. Jax then says her style is more destruction, and she kept her word when she dethroned Bayley. Jay then says she's the new WWE Women's Champion, then demands the WWE Universe bow down. Pretty Deadly then bows down, and Jax demands Stratton bow down as well. Stratton tries to talking her way out of bowing down, and Pretty Deadly presents their newest musical, Minchin, that appears out of nowhere and hits Pretty Deadly with the kendo stick. Minchin then takes several shots at Jax, then takes more shots at Pretty Deadly. Minchin then stands tall and steals Jack's champagne to end the segment. It was over quick. We head to the back where Naomi, Bianca Belair, and Jay Cargill were having a conversation with each other. They joked with each other, and Belair and Cargill says they will take back their tag team titles, and Naomi says she will beat Blair tonight. Carmelo Hayes then shows up and invites them to their after the party after he defeats Andrade. Cargill then jokes that Andrade is already 2 up on him, so we better focus on that. The 3 women then leave, and Andrade makes his way down to the ring for the first match of the night. The match starts off with Hayes rolling out of the ring. Andrade then follows him out there, but Hayes slides back in. Andrade then hits a kick on Hayes. A kick on Hayes' head from the apron, but Hayes responds with some stops and right hands on Andrade. Hayes then hits Andrade with a springboard clothesline, then follows it up with a chop and couple of right hands. Andrade then hits a drop kick on Hayes, then follows up with a springboard moonsault off the middle rope on the outside. Andrade then gets Hayes back in the ring, but Hayes slides out and hits a jawbreaker on Andrade off the top rope. Andrade then climbs to the top, but Hayes pushes him off. Hayes then climbs to the top, but Andrade joins him up there and hits him with a Spanish fly. Andrade then goes for the pin, but Andrade kicks out and nails him with a super kick. Andrade then hits the Three Amigos on Hayes, but Hayes climbs to the top and looks to fly. Andrade then moves out of the way and then nails Hayes and goes for the pin. Hayes then kicks out and pins Andrade for the win. After the match, Andrade and Hayes continue to brawl with each other until the officials make their way down to the ring to separate them both. We head to the back where Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga are having a discussion about the Ulafala. After the Tama hands it to Sikoa, Sikoa then tells Tama that he will acknowledge Roman Reigns as tribal chief if he can take the necklace back from him, and the rest of the bloodline will too. Alyssa, sis, how are you? How are you? How are you? Mwah, 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 mwah. How are you, girl? I love you. Naomi makes her way down to the next singles match of the night. Blair Davenport makes her way down to the ring, and the NXT Women's Champion Roxanne Perez is shown in the crowd. She will be watching the action. They were in Orlando. What's in Orlando? NXT Performance Center. That's why they were there. And I like that. That gives like a takeover vibe. I always used to love that. So Naomi versus Blair Davenport. The match starts off with Davenport shoving Naomi. Naomi then hits a kick on Davenport's midsection and follows up with a split-legged moonsault and a drop kick through the middle rope. Naomi then hits Davenport with a splash off the ring apron and climbs to the top before she hits a crossbody off the middle rope. Naomi and Davenport then hit each other with a crossbodies. Naomi then responds with an enziguri and a drop kick in the corner. Then looks to hit Davenport with a split-legged moonsault. Davenport then blocks Naomi and hits her with a running knee for the win. What I thought people say about that. Yes, and you can all tell them to go fuck themselves. So then after the match, Blair celebrates her win. We head to the back where Austin Theory and Grayson Waller is having a conversation about the prize fighter, Kevin Owens. Theory and Waller are bad-mouthing Owens about how the world title match was handed to him. Waller then calls his upcoming match against Owens an easy dub, but didn't notice that Owens was walking up from behind him. Owens then tells Waller that he's absolutely right, that they should go out to the ring so that I could prove how easily his victory will be. Owens then slaps both Waller and Theory on the chest and says he will see them both out there. Corey Graves sends us to a video package and the life of WWE Alpha Anoa'i, which is the brother of Sika, which is this is Roman Reigns' uncle. So they're both, the Wild Samoans are reunited in heaven. I keep telling you, the Royal Rumble that's up in heaven is going to be a lot better than the one that's here on earth. I will always tell you that. They took all the good ones. We get the entrances of the next match, and we have WWE NXT champion All Ego Ethan Page is in the. I swear he's been in the fucking company less than 3 months. He has been doing more in WWE than he was in AEW. Don't at me. Kevin Owens versus Grayson Waller. The match starts off with Owens hitting a dropkick on Waller. Owens then nails Waller with a back elbow and follows it up with a senton, then charges at Waller. Waller then rolls out of the ring, and Owens meets him there and hits him with a clothesline. Owens then sends Waller crashing into the barricade, spine first, and then sends him gliding with into the announce desk and gets him back in the ring. Theory then distracts Waller, allowing Waller to nail Owens. Owens then takes Theory down and sends him crashing over the barricade near the timekeeper's area. Waller then sends Owens crashing into the barricade, then hits him with an elevated DDT and flies off the ropes and to land on him back in the ring. Owens and Waller then teeter on the ropes, but Owens delivers some headbutts on Waller and sends him with a swanton bomb. I want to apologize for the fire whistle. That hasn't gone off in a while. Sorry. Owens then goes for a pin, but Waller kicks out. Waller then looks to hit a rolling stunner, but Owens sees him coming. Owens then hits a Waller with a stunner and a pop-up powerbomb for the win. Are you getting sick of Diamond? Yup. Stuff, and she's not believing. Nope. Anything. Yep. She was in a fucking in a great place at the great time. Anybody could have been in her spot. And to be quite honest, I think Rhea Ripley's arm wasn't as bad as everybody thought, and I think she just needed the time off to get married. And unfortunately, I don't understand why they couldn't keep the title on her. If knowing that she was only going to be out this length, they should have had jockeying for position to be number one contender. But what do I know? So Kevin Owens wins. After the match, Owens sends Waller out of the ring and sends him crashing into a big prime hydration bottle at ringside. Theory then helps Waller out and grabs a chair as Waller follows suit. Cody Rhodes then hits the ring and makes his way down. Rhodes then grabs a chair and as Owens does the same and both men uses them to hit A-Town Down Under. A-Town Down Under then retreats and Owens grabs Rhodes' undisputed WWE Championship before forcefully handing it back to him. We head to the back where Solo Sikoa is having a conversation with Tama Tonga. I still can't get over the fact that Tama motherfucking Tonga is in WWE. It still weirds me out. Once again, Sikoa. Sorry, Sikoa. I say Sikoa. Sorry. Tells Tonga that tonight Roman needs to acknowledge him. Titus O'Neil was shown in the crowd promoting his upcoming book. We get a video of Legado del Fantasma having dinner with each other. Santos Escobar interrupts a story at dinner and says they had gotten complacent about being disrespected. Escobar then says they needed to remind everyone about who they are. Escobar then says their name is Legado del Fantasma, and that's a legacy as well as a name. Escobar then tells them to focus and says he will send the trash LA Knight back to the trailer park where he belongs. WWE United States Champion, the megastar LA Knight, then makes his way out to the ring. Knight starts off by saying, "Let me talk to you." Knight then mocks the Legado del Fantasma dinner and says Escobar is trying to convince everyone that he can just be like him. Knight then says he will put Escobar Churro in the dirt next week with the BFT. Knight then says he doesn't have time to worry about some cross-eyed morons calling him trash, and any week he wants his trash, he will put him on his ass. Knight then says his catchphrase and that he will see Escobar in DC next week. That's going to be a good match. We head to the back where Mitchin is approached by Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. They say they thought about doing what she did earlier, but it was too much fun to sit back and watch the chaos. They then says they tried to warn Tacky Time, but she must not actually care about Nia. Mitchin then tells them they should have come down to the ring because now she's a woman's. She has a women's championship match. Green and Niven then storm into Nick Aldis's office. Nia Jax then attacks Mitchell from behind and sends her into the door and then the equipment crate. Nick Aldis then emerges from the office and tells her he wants her in his office immediately. What's new version of Judgment? I can't stand it, and it's going to be more detrimental than anything else. We have the number one contenders tag team, number one contendership for the tag team title. DIY versus the Street Profits. The match starts off with Ford and Gargano. Both men take turns in locking each other in the submission holds before Dawkins and Ciampa tag in. Both men then lock up and go back and forth. Ford then tags in and the Street Profits double team. DIY. Ford then sends Gargano onto the apron. Gargano then responds with a spear on Ford through the middle rope. Then tags in Ciampa. Ford then sends Ciampa crashing into Gargano, then tags in Dawkins. Dawkins then sends Ciampa over to Ford, and Ford nails him back with a suplex midair. Dawkins then climbs to the top and hits him with a swanton bomb, but Ciampa moves out of the way and hitting a running knees on Dawkins. Gargano then tags in and Dawkins hits him with a suplex. Ford then tags in and both Gargano and Ford fly to land on Dawkins and Ciampa on the outside. Ford then hits a 450 splash off the top, but Ciampa transitions it into a pin. Ford then kicks out and Gargano tags in. DIY then hits Ford with a shatter machine and sets him up for a me in the middle, but Dawkins pulls Ford out of the ring and tags in. The Street Profits then hit a spinebuster neckbreaker combination on Ciampa. Gargano then tags back in, and Gargano hits a suplex on Dawkins. DIY then double teams Dawkins and goes for a pin, but Dawkins kicks out. Gargano then hits Ford on the outside with a tope suicida and looks to hit a spear through the middle rope on Dawkins. Dawkins then counters into a neckbreaker, then tags in Ford. Ford then climbs to the top as Dawkins gets Gargano in the electric chair position. Ford then hits a blockbuster on Gargano for the win. And they have a tag team title match. We go to Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga then make their way down to the ring to address the WWE Universe and call out the original tribal chief, Roman Reigns. Solo starts off by demanding All In to acknowledge him and says if Roman Reigns wants his lay back, then he can come out and get it. Reigns' music then hits and he makes his way down to the ring. Reigns stares Sikoa down and both men begin brawling with each other. Tonga then goes after Reigns, but Reigns nails him and sends him out of the ring. Sikoa then gets Reigns back in the ring and sets up for a Samoan spike, but Reigns hits Sikoa with a Superman punch and follows it up with a spear. Reigns then grabs the leg and holds it up, then puts it around his neck. Jacob Fatu, with a supposable injury, then blindsides Reigns and hits him with a hip attack. So Sikoa then begins to direct traffic. The Bloodline hits a triple power bomb, a la Shield power bomb, on Reigns through the announce desk. Tonga then places the lay around Sikoa's neck, and the Bloodline hold up the one symbol as the show comes to a close. And that's basically about it. I am so thirsty today. On to Raw, and then I am out of here for the day. Remember, people, I'm going live right after Collision on Saturday night with preview and predictions of All In. And then right after All In, I'm going live with my review of All In. I know it's going to be shocking but it's because it's 1 o'clock. I can guarantee you I'll be going live at 8 o'clock, and then I won't get out of there until 10. Jesus Christ. It backfires all at me. But I'm hoping that there's not going to be like 15 matches, for heaven's sake. There's no need to. It's ridiculous. you know? Raw had Pete Dunne versus Sheamus. Six-man tag, The Final Testament versus Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods, and Odyssey Jones. Women's Tag Team Championship triple threat match. Unholy Union versus Damage Control versus the Pure Fusion Collective. Randy Orton made an appearance. American Maids Ivy Nile versus Alpha Academy's Maxine Dupree. The best in the world, CM Punk will deliver a message to the Scottish Warrior Drew McIntyre, and there was the show opened up where there was a scene of the Uber Arena where Bash in Berlin will be taking place a week from tomorrow. We get a shot of the Raw host venue, followed by separate shots of the arrivals of CM Punk, Alba Fire, Isla Dawn, Pure Fusion Collective, Damage Control, Damian Priest, and Rhea Ripley. The Viper, Randy Orton, makes his way down to the ring. He was being introduced by Samantha Irving. Michael Cole and Pat McAfee welcomes us to the show, and McAfee says Orton's coming out is perfect way to start the evening. Randy Orton starts off by welcoming the fans to Monday Night Raw. Orton then says the next time we'll see him, he will be the 15-time world champion. Orton then says Gunther made this personal when he made this about his grandfather and father. Orton then says at that point he had no choice but to hit Gunther with an RKO. WWE World Heavyweight Champion Gunther then interrupts and makes his way down to the ring. Fans drowned Gunther out with boos every time he tries to speak. Gunther then tells the fans to shut up. Gunther then mocks Orton for celebrating his RKO last week. Gunther then says that is the only celebrating Orton is going to get to do. Gunther then says Orton managed to accomplish was making this very personal. Gunther then says he's going to leave Orton a bloody mess. Gunther then promises to expose Orton as the underachieving one-trick pony. Orton then says it will make an uncomfortable flight for Gunther with a size 15 boot shoved up his ass. 15 sub. Oh boy. 15. 15. You know, ladies, you know. Oh, Maron. Holy shit. Gunther then squares up and Ludwig Kaiser tries to attack Orton from behind, but Orton fights him off. Orton then turns his attention to Gunther. Kaiser then chop blocks Orton. Gunther and Kaiser then beat down Orton and leave him lying in the ring. Michael Cole and Pat McAfee was shown as they are speaking from the broadcast team. The commentators then set up footage from last week of Pete Dunne attacking the Celtic Warrior Sheamus with a shillelagh during the backstage segment with Ludwig Kaiser. We head to the back where Jackie Redmond is interviewing Sheamus in the gorilla position. I love that. I love that where they do the interviewing because it seems like it's like, oh, let me grab you. I want to have a word with you. It's like it's real, and I like that. I like these real shots. It's awesome. Sheamus had his left hand wrapped and says his injury was caused by Dunne hitting his hand with his shillelagh. Sheamus then asks if the fans are ready for a banger, and then he makes his way down to the ring for the first match of the night. Michael Cole then announces Randy Orton versus Ludwig Kaiser as Raw's main event. We see Sheamus listed as a guest picker for the College Game Day in Dublin, Ireland. The Bruiserweight Pete Dunne then makes his way down to the ring for the first match of the night. So he's going to go against Sheamus. That starts off with Sheamus immediately trying to hit Dunne with a bro kick, but Dunne avoids it. Sheamus then nails Dunne, and Dunne retreats to the ropes. When the referee backs Sheamus off, Dunne hits him with a cheap shot. Sheamus then hits Dunne with an Alabama slam, and Dunne rolls out to the ring apron. Sheamus then tries to bring Dunne back, but Dunne hits a head kick on Sheamus. Dunne then bends the fingers on Sheamus's injured hand. Dunne then puts Sheamus in a triangle. Sheamus then lifts Dunne off the mat and hits him with a backbreaker. Dunne then rolls out to the apron. Sheamus then hits a shoulder block off of the apron onto the commentary desk. Sheamus then takes a moment to give Pat McAfee a high five at the desk, which allows Dunne to hit Sheamus with a dive. Dunne then stomps on Sheamus's injured hand on the ring steps. Dunne then hits several chops on Sheamus. Sheamus then punches Dunne in the face. Dunne then responds with a slap and a flying forearm. Sheamus then hits Dunne with a clothesline in the corner and slams him in the middle of the ring. Dunne then chops Sheamus over the top rope. Sheamus then returns the favor and pulls Dunne's body onto the rope and continues the chop. Dunne then dodges a bro kick and hits Sheamus with a step-up kick. Dunne then goes for a moonsault, but Sheamus kicks him in the gut. Sheamus then places Dunne on his shoulders and climbs to the second rope for a white noise, but Dunne escapes and hits Sheamus with a powerbomb. Dunne then places Sheamus' arm in the second turnbuckle and nails him. Sheamus then breaks free and hits Dunne with a bro kick for the win. And that is that. Oh, I'm telling you, I am so fucking glad that I see the word Dunne instead of Butch. That old man, I swear to God, if his fucking health is failing, karma's a bitch. That's all I'm saying. We head to the back where Odyssey Jones is standing with Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods. Kingston and Jones does a New Day yell while Woods didn't look too thrilled about it. I'm liking this. If they're going to do this, it shouldn't be right away. It should be built up. I love it. Once Jones leaves the room, Kingston asks Woods if he's okay. Woods says he wishes Kingston would have talked to him before getting Jones involved, and added that he feels like Kingston wants Jones to replace Big E. Kingston then says he is sorry and no one could ever replace Big E. Kingston then recalls how hard it was to get New Day off the ground and how everyone was laughing at them. Kingston then says they are family and nothing will change that. Kingston then says Jones is in a similar spot and thought they could take him under their wings as veterans. Woods then says Kingston is right. Jones then returns and Woods is suddenly kind to him, but then looks a little taken back by Jones giving an aggressive hug. Michael Cole narrates a video footage from the Big Fan Fest event that was held in New York City in my backyard, and says that all of the WWE appearances was sold out. We get a video vignette on the WWE Intercontinental Champion, Braun Breaker. Breaker says he will be the biggest star in the industry and in the world. Breaker then says it was arrogant. It wasn't arrogant. It was just the way it is. Then we then see Breaker destroying a number of different opponents. We get a video footage of Ivy Nile attacking Maxine Dupree on last week's Raw. We then see Ivy working out when she was approached by Chad Gable, Julius Creed, and Brutus Creed. Gable welcomes Nile to American Made. I don't understand why they didn't reuse Diamond Mine. Oh, for the love of Jesus. They had an established group. Just replace Roderick Strong with Chad Gable, and there you go. And if we could, please, can we get Kurt Angle back? Can we get Kurt Angle back in WWE? He had so much fucking input. Just don't let him wrestle. Please, for the love of God, don't let him wrestle. Niall says she gave Dupree a chance and it's on her for not taking it. Gable then says they weren't finished with the Wyatt Six. Gable then puts his fist out and the others join him. Gable then asks how they were made and they all said American made. So Maxine Dupree makes her way down to the ring for her match against Ivy Nile. Maxine Dupree drop kicks Niles from behind after Nile dismissively turned her back on her. Nile then falls out of the ring. Dupree sends Nile into the barricade. Nile gets her feet on Dupree, launches Nile clear across the commentary desk. Dupree then sends Nile back into the ring, and Nile boots Dupree in the face and ground and pound her. The lights then go out. The Wyatt Six music hits Abby the Witch, and we have Nikki Crush. They actually said it, which I'm grateful for. That appears in the ring. Now we have Abby the Witch. We don't have a Sister Abigail. If we want to bring Alexa Bliss back, she could be Sister Abigail. And there's the Wyatt Six. That appears in the ring. The Creed brothers and Chad Gable make their way down to the ring, and the rest of the Wyatt Six appear around the ring. Cross then attacks Nile, Dexter Lumis, Joe Gacy, and Eric Rowan, then take out the Creeds. Gable is left surrounded by Wyatt Six. In the ring, Uncle Howdy appears and hits a Sister Abigail. The singles match has no contest, and I think that's the perfect way to keep this feud going. Beautiful. We have the best in the world CM Punk then shown walking through backstage. Michael Cole then hypes Bash in Berlin kickoff show for Friday, August 30th at 10 a.m. We're probably going to get on, they're going to have a kickoff. Why? A week from today. At least I know that I can, after that, I can watch that and then go live with this. So, and I will be hopefully if things work out the way they do, that if they're going to do SmackDown, once I get the spoilers, I'm going live legitimately as soon as that's all finished being taped and everything. I'm going live with the spoilers. So be prepared. If you're going to, I got to get this done. All right. So next Thursday, I'm going live actually with episode 254. Then Friday at some point, I'm going preview and predictions. And as soon as Bash in Berlin is done, I'm going live with the review. That's my schedule for next week. And then my son's going to be coming home. I'll be hopefully doing All Out. It's just with that whole situation, I'm going to probably most likely have to do preview and predictions Friday night right after Rampage, and then on All Out, I'm going to wait till Sunday night and do the review, because I'm going to have my kid home. His 19th birthday is going to be, so I really would like to spend time with him. I'm almost positive I'm going to cover it. If not, you will know about it. I may take that weekend off because that day is my son's birthday. My son's birthday is the 7th, and I am not going to, put his birthday on the back burner for this. This doesn't pay me. If I was getting paid on YouTube, I would be putting this first. We get a video package of Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley speaking about their issues with Judgment Day. Ripley says Dominic Mysterio will soon realize that she and Priest protected him. I even put that out when this happened. Ripley says Liv Morgan is becoming the thing she hates, a discounted version of herself. CM Punk makes his way down to the ring to address WWE Universe and give a message to Drew McIntyre. CM Punk starts off by saying, didn't get much sleep last night. Punk then says he has some good news and he couldn't wait to get there to tell the fans about it. Punk says he wants to tell the fans a story. Punk then says, he was at Fanatics Fest this weekend, someone asked him why he thinks he's on a hot streak. Punk then says it's 100% the fans. Punk then talks about some amazing fans he met during this weekend. Punk then shows a handful of bracelets fans made for him and points out they may be insignificant to others, but they matter to him. Punk then says the bracelet Drew McIntyre took off his unconscious body means something to him. Punk then says McIntyre claims to be done with him, but he isn't done with McIntyre. Punk then says McIntyre claims to hate him, but he thinks McIntyre loves him. Punk then says he is McIntyre's biggest fan, and because of that, he made a bracelet for McIntyre. Punk then unrolls a leather strap. Punk then announces they are having a strap match in Berlin at Bash of Berlin, and he will whip a bitch. I cannot wait till Netflix. I swear to Christ. Can't wait. They're already warming up and ready to get out of the batter's box, honestly. Drew McIntyre comes out. McIntyre slowly walks out on the stage. McIntyre asks Punk if he has been drinking. McIntyre then accepts and says he doesn't want to wait for the pay-per-view next week. McIntyre then says he wants revenge for last week. McIntyre then tells Punk to get rid of the strap he's holding and they can get busy. Punk then says he will give McIntyre the strap if McIntyre gives him back his bracelet. McIntyre laughs and says no. McIntyre then says April and Larry are much safer and happier at home with him. Punk then says McIntyre won't be safe in Berlin. So they're now bringing April's name up. She's coming back, people. She is not going to completely go out of wrestling without going back home and going through some of the women and getting that itch taken care of. I would like to actually fuck Charlotte Flair, fuck everybody else. Put AJ Lee in the Royal Rumble, have her win, and completely fucking throw a monkey wrench into everything. And then have her win it and hopefully have Rhea Ripley still have the title on her. And we have a banger of another match where Liv can't do shit. We get a video package on Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio. Morgan says they will be on top where they like it at Bash in Berlin. Mysterio then says he can't wait till Bash in Berlin and challenges Damian Priest to meet him. Mysterio then says Priest could leave Rhea Ripley behind, and then he will leave Judgment Day. And even Liv when they meet in the match. We get an ad for the upcoming SmackDown hyping up Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga versus the Street Profits for the WWE Tag Team titles, in addition to previously advertised LA Knight versus Santos Escobar for the U.S. title. The Final Testament versus The New Day and Odyssey Jones. The match starts off with Xavier Woods and Karrion Kross. Kingston tags himself in after Kross talks some trash. Kingston then hits a flurry of strikes. Kross then nails Kingston with an elbow strike. Kingston then hits a slingshot dropkick on Kross. Scarlett then grabs Kingston's foot as he hits the ropes. Kross then hits a backbreaker on Kingston and turns it into a powerbomb. Akam then tags in and nails Kingston with a power slam into the corner. The Final Testament has control of Kingston, and Kingston tries to get to his corner, but Cross holds him and sends Kingston back to their corner. Cross then knocks Jones off the apron. Akam then charges at Kingston, but Kingston moves out of the way, and Akam sends shoulder first into the turnbuckle. Jones then tags in and cleans house. Jones then hits a double clothesline on AOP. Jones then hits a headbutt on Akam and goes for a cover, but Cross breaks it up. Cross then runs the ropes and hits Jones. Kingston then hits the Trouble in Paradise on Cross. Razor then sends Kingston across the ring, and Woods hits Razor with a top elbow drop. Akam then hits Woods with a Uranagi. Akam then slams Woods. Jones then hits Akam with a Journey's End to win the match. After the match, Woods reserved in celebrating with Kingston and Jones. We head to the back where Rhea Ripley warns Damian Priest that his match with Dominic Mysterio is a trap. Priest then says, of course it's a trap, but it's worth to get his hands on Dominic. Priest then says they will not stop until they pass judgment on his lame-ass Judgment Day. Michael Cole sends us to a memorial package on the late, great Afa Anoa'i. Cole says tonight the attendance is 13,718, and former UFC Robbie Lawler and fellow TKO alumni and everything like that. The co-workers of TKO was shown in the crowd, which was Robbie Lawler. Bronson Reed then makes his way down to the ring for the next match of the night, while the video package was shown of him destroying R-Truth last week. We then head to the back where Raw General Manager Adam Pearce warns The Miz that Reed doesn't care about fines or who he hurts. Pearce then says the only way he will let Miz face Reed is if he's shown him really wants it. Miz then says he doesn't know if he did. Miz then says if he doesn't have many friends, but he stands up for the ones that he has. Miz then says he doesn't know if he wants the match, but he has to have it. Miz makes his way down to the ring, and we have Bronson Reed versus The Miz. The match starts off with Reed attacking Miz out of the gate. Miz then takes a few swings on Reed, but Reed knocks down Miz. Miz then gets a chair and hits Reed with it before Reed knocks the chair from Miz's hands. Miz then sends Reed into the turnbuckle before throwing chairs, kendo sticks, and trash can into the ring. Miz then grabs the table. Miz then hits Reed a few times with a kendo stick before Reed takes it from The Miz and snaps it. Reed then slams The Miz on top of the trash can. As The Miz is starting to get up, Reed tosses the trash can onto his back. Reed then sits in a chair while stepping on Miz's neck. Miz then sends Reed shoulder first into the chair set up in the turnbuckle. Miz then hits Reed in a gutbuster with another chair. Miz then hits Reed with a tornado DDT into the chair. Miz then hits Reed several times with a kendo stick. Miz then runs across the ring and hits Reed in the throat with the stick. Reed then goes for a Death Valley driver onto the table that was set up in the corner. But Miz escapes and kicks Reed twice in the face. Reed then nails Miz with a clothesline. Reed then hits the Death Valley driver on the Miz on top of the table. Reed hits the tsunami on Miz for the win. Then after the match, Reed heads towards the ropes, but stopped as soon as he hears the music of Bronson Reed. As soon as Braun Strowman, as soon as Strowman enters the ring, Reed stands on the apron smiling. I'm getting a knock at my door. I will be right back. Sorry for this. Sorry, I had an emergency. Sorry. Where were we? Sorry. I am so sorry. Holy Christmas. I had to take care of something and now it's all taken care of. We then head to the back where Sheamus is being interviewed by Jackie Redmond. Sheamus speaks about his issues with Pete Dunne and credits Dunne for his going toe to toe with him. Ludwig Kaiser then shows up and asks Redmond why she is wasting time talking to the opening act where we can speak to the main event, Ding Raw. Sheamus then excuses Redmond. Kaiser then says once he's done with Orton, he will come right back to Sheamus so they can settle the score once and for all. Sheamus then says Kaiser knows where to find him. Sheamus then says he will be at a bar around the corner watching Kaiser take an RKO. WWE Intercontinental Champion Braun Breaker is being interviewed and furious about where there being a tournament to determine the next contender. Breaker says it's not his fault that he is dominant. Breaker then says whomever wins that tournament will be broken when he gives them a beating of a lifetime. Can't wait to find out who's going to be in that tournament. Dominic Mysterio is shown walking backstage. Liv Morgan then runs to Dominic and hugs him before giving him a kiss on the cheek. Michael Cole then says he hopes Priest rips Dominic's mustache off. I fucking advocated I could take my fucking wax that I fucking use for purposes that you should know of and fucking let me put it on his mustache and let me slowly remove it. We have Damian Priest versus Dominic Mysterio. Damian Priest almost made his way down to the ring. He turns around to see Carlito, Finn Balor, and JD McDonough coming after him. Priest was ready to take them all out, and Mysterio then distracted by Priest when Rhea Ripley comes up from behind him. Ripley then blows Mysterio a kiss and turns around to see Priest was behind him. Ripley then headbutts Mysterio and Priest hits him with a forearm. Ripley then clears the commentary table and Priest sends Mysterio out to Ripley, which was awesome. Ripley was attempting to hit him with a riptide on Mysterio until Morgan hits her with a chair. Both women then continue to brawl outside while the Judgment Day starts attacking Priest. They held him to watch. They then held him to watch Morgan destroy Ripley. The Judgment Day then goes back to beating up Priest. Balor then hits a coup de grace on Priest. Morgan then hits the Oblivion on Ripley. Mysterio then hits a frog splash on Priest. The Judgment Day places Ripley over Priest and stands over them. We head to the back where Judgment Day celebrates what just happened. Balor, Carlito, Liv speak. Liv says Dominic has been all man and adds that she will make Ripley her bitch at Bash in Berlin. For a team or a faction that doesn't have a leader, Finn Balor was standing right dead center. Guess who's winning at Bash in Berlin? Because then it's going to set up another match for Liv Morgan, and I hope it's fucking in a Hell in a Cell. Because that's where it's going to fucking matter. And I hope this match doesn't get fucking with nefarious means and freaking Rhea Ripley makes fucking Liv Morgan pay in unsurmounted fucking misery. We get a video recapping Alba Fire and Isla Dawn attacking the teams that were fighting for the right to challenge them for the tag team titles. We get the entrance for that next match. And it's a triple threat match with Unholy Union, Damage Control, and Pure Fusion Collective. The match starts off with Sky punching Baszler in the face. The Unholy Union and Damage Control then brawls. Sane then sends Baszler to the outside. Sky then sends Sane over the top rope onto Pure Fusion Collective. Sky then takes out Unholy Union. Stark then sends Zane over the top rope. Zane then hits a DDT on Stark. Sky then and Fire then tag in. Sky then swings Stark's foot and hits Baszler in the head with it. Sky then sends Fire into the corner and kicks Dawn. Baszler then hits Fire. Sky then hits a missile dropkick on Stark and Dawn. Stark then hits a double knees on both teams on the top of the corner. Fire then climbs to the top, but Zane drops her. Damage Control then hits Fire with a double suplex, and Dawn breaks up a cover. Baszler then hits an Enziguri on Sky. Fire then headbutts Baszler and kicks DeVille off the apron. Zane then spears Fire. Zane then knocks DeVille off the apron. Baszler then nails Zane and tags in Stark. Stark then kicks Fire, and Baszler tags back in. Starks then hits a Death Valley driver on Sky. Baszler then hits a running knee on Sky. Then Zane hits a crossbody on PFC. Baszler then delivers right hand on Zane. Baszler then goes for the Karafuda clutch, but Zane hits her with a backhand before heading to the top. My tablet just crapped out. Sorry. Baszler delivers right hand on Zane. Baszler goes for the Karafuda clutch, but Zane hits her with a backhand before heading to the top. Dawn then tags in, but Zane goes for an insane elbow. Baszler then gets her knees up. Dawn then hits a backstabber on Baszler. Fire tag back in and hits a swanton for the win. And they retain. Unholy Union. WWE World Heavyweight Champion, the Ring General, Gunther, was shown talking to Ludwig Kaiser, who was warming up inside his dressing room. We get a separate shot of the Viper, Randy Orton, preparing for the main event. We head back where Jackie Redmond is interviewing Jey Uso. Uso says Sami Zayn had to take some time off. Uso then says Sami told him he can't be champion. That means he doesn't mean Jey can't be. Jey says he spoke to Adam Pearce and put his name into the pool for the tournament to determine the number one contender for the Intercontinental Championship. Michael Cole and Pat McAfee then speak at ringside. Cole says that yeet is now an official word in Scrabble Dictionary. Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God. Here we go. Cole then turns his attention to McAfee and says they are best friends. Cole then says McAfee is leaving for football season and sends us to a video package on McAfee's last year with the company. McAfee says he didn't know that the video package was coming, and thanks to everyone for it. McAfee then says he feels home in WWE and feels lucky to be there. Thank you, Adam Cole. And don't at me. McAfee says College Game Day will be phenomenal, but the WWE family is something he has been yearning for his entire life. McAfee then says it's a dream come true, and it's because of Cole. Which Cole? And at the end of the day, Cole then says McAfee will be returning in January when Raw debuts on Netflix. So you think that he was going to miss that? Absolutely not. I just don't understand that if he's doing it on Saturday, I don't understand why they can't at least help him out to get to shows. I think he should do like something. He should still be involved in this in the same. I think when definitely the Royal Rumble, he's going to be there. I think also if they're going to be anywhere near the game day, I think he should come back and do that. At least like meet them halfway. So we have next week, we have the Intercontinental Champion #1 contenders match. We have Uncle Howdy versus Chad Gable and Braun Strowman versus Bronson Reed. Main event time. Randy Orton versus Ludwig Kaiser. The match starts off with Randy Orton hitting Ludwig Kaiser with a shoulder tackle. Orton then hits Kaiser with a headlock takeover. Kaiser then gets to his feet and chops Orton in the corner. Orton then nails Kaiser with a clothesline and follows it up with a fall-away slam. Kaiser then crawls to the floor and tries to send Orton into the steel steps. Orton then nails Kaiser with an uppercut as Orton looks to hit Kaiser on the table with a back body drop. He is distracted by Gunther. Kaiser then takes out Orton's left knee. Kaiser then hits Orton on the desk with Orton's patented backdrop. Orton's knee is then driven into the steel steps. Kaiser then runs around the ring and hits Orton with a drop kick to the back of Orton's injured knee. Kaiser goes for another running drop kick into the steps, but Orton counters it with a clothesline. Orton then hits Kaiser with 4 backdrops onto the announcer's desk. Orton then hits Kaiser with a patent snap power slam. Orton then goes for a draping DDT, but Kaiser avoids it and hangs Orton's neck up on the ropes. Kaiser then follows it up with a step up. It's a Gary. Orton then hits Kaiser with a superplex. Orton then hits a draping DDT on Kaiser. Orton goes for the RKO, but Kaiser counters it into a schoolboy and gets a 2 count. Orton then hits Kaiser with an RKO for the win. No shit. After the match, Gunther enters the ring, attacks Orton. Both men brawl as the show comes to the close. And that closes this show. So, tomorrow's schedule for All In coverage. I will be going live right after Collision. Okay? Then right after All In, I will be going live with the review. So go and make sure of that. And then I will be back on Tuesday with NXT review on my OnlyFans, Real Mel's Mat Chat. And then we're going to go right to Thursday. Thursday, I'm going to be going live with episode 353. 354, sorry. And then Friday, I'm going to do the preview and predictions right after Bash in Berlin. I will go right into the review. It's just going to be a never-ending situation here, thanks to so much fucking pay-per-views. But please do me a favor, like, share, and subscribe. Turn on the bell for all notifications so when I go live, upload a video, or do a short, you will know about it. Please go check out all my other social media, Snapchat, Real Mel's Mat Chat, and Mel's Mat Chat on my Facebook, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, Twitter, all Mel's Mat Chat. Please also go check out my OnlyFans at Real Mel's Mat Chat. If you want to donate to the podcast, you could do it with my PayPal. Write the message. I will be mentioning it all weekend long. I want also everybody to go check out my Astro Classics at myastroclassics.com. Liquid Death at liquiddeath.com. And Deathwish Coffee at deathwishcoffee.com. Please go check out HOG Wrestling at hogwrestling.net. And please, please, please go check out the rest of the content that's on my channel. I will be back here tomorrow night after Collision. Again, right after Collision, I'm going live with preview and predictions. So you'll get all the go-home shows, which are Rampage, Dynamite, and Collision. Also, I will be going live right after All In. I want everybody to have a great weekend. Enjoy yourself. Go check me out on my spicy content on OnlyFans. It's only $5 a month. So enjoy yourself. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you tomorrow for preview and predictions of All In London. Have a great, great night, and enjoy SmackDown. Bye.